Hello everybody, welcome once more to Dakian's Monday Miniatures Ramble, this time for Monday the 11th of December 2017. And let's see what I've painted this week. First up we have some Infernals from Mantic's Kings of War range. There's 4 of them, you can see 2 in the shot right now, and here's a third, and the 4th one is behind them. I'll get to him later. Now these 3 are, I think they're known as Molochs, and yeah, they're big nasty demons with yeah, I mean, painting unnatural skin tones like this red is always difficult. It's always a challenge trying to come up with something that looks both natural and unnatural, if you know what I mean. But, you know, I think people who see them give them a bit of leeway. They don't judge, perhaps, the realism as harshly when it's clearly something that's not real. I hope so, anyway. And yeah, there's a line to walk between making them really dark and nasty looking and making them too dark to be legible, to be readable. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish also. But not make them too light and cartoony either. And this big dude here is the Archfiend, I think he was called. And he, again, the challenge here is how do you make highlights and shading on a big dude like this? Well, he's actually so large that to a certain extent you can let the lights do your highlighting for you. It's not a little small mini. A normal 28 millimeter mini is something like this, and so you have to paint in the highlights a lot more. And here you can just sort of let the way light actually falls do some of your shading for you. The challenging thing here was all the flames. He's got burning hands and feet, and so I've painted this the traditional way, from light to dark, from the lightest colors where I think the source of the flames would be, rising up to a sort of sooty tips. The hard parts here were figuring out, I mean, they're sort of separate flames in certain cases, and painting those so they look distinct, and also the transitions when you have flames this big. Normally I'm used to painting like a small figure like this who's holding a torch, and the flame is like this size, not this huge thing. This is the flame is the size of an ordinary 28 millimeter miniature. So you have to make the transitions very gradual. Oops. Also, the hands, some of his fingers and claws are showing, and I was a bit concerned that I wondered whether I should go in and repaint them after the flames, because a lot of it got sort of covered up with the fire colors. But then I thought, nah, that would be the way it would happen, wouldn't it? I mean, there would be light from the flames making the fingers and claws kind of look like part of it, if you could see them at all. So I just kind of left it as it was. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't come across as too weird. So yeah, that was the models that I've been working on for the longest out of the completed this pile. I did complete a couple of other minis that were really quick paint jobs. Let's go to those. And yes, here we have the first from this year's crop of Christmas minis. Woohoo! Yeah, so we have some rather simple figures. We have the Mimic in the shape of a Christmas present, and we have the very small tree ant, a small Christmas tree who's come alive, you know, with decorations and all. And yeah, don't know if you can tell, but the eyes are supposed to be inside the bows here. They're perhaps a bit glossy. I might put down some matte varnish to take away a little bit of the shine, at least in the crevices here, where the gloss varnish is collected a bit too much. I want to dull that down a bit, but it can be glossy up on top. And, you know, there could be shiny ribbons and stuff. That's okay. And of course, the shiny Christmas tree ornaments are perfectly all right as well. So yeah, that was what I got done this week. A total of 6 minis. Not bad, not bad. And there's still more in the works. Let's see what they are. And this is what my work table looks like at the moment. Well, it doesn't actually look like this. I don't have everything set up like this when I actually paint. I have 1 or maybe 2 minis at a time here. But for the sake of this video, I've collected all my works in progress into one shot. As you can see, I've got the remaining Dungeon Saga minis here. I have a few of the Christmas minis, and I still have those Cave Space Marines. We'll see when I find any inspiration to work on those again. Yeah, they're coming along. Everything is moving according to plan. Let's say it. Just a quick mention, why am I painting this version of Sophie green? Well, as you can see, this is the desktop image on my computer currently. That's the way, this is my reference for it. This is Reaper's artwork for her, and there is actually some pics on their site where they painted her up pretty much in these colors, and well, you can't, it's too contrasty, you can't actually see the miniature now. Oh well. The white portions here, this is obviously supposed to be a non-metallic metal effect, so I'm going to paint those. Everything that's white here will be silver on the finished model, and otherwise it's green and some yellow and some browns. I wonder if I can match that brown for the wings. Oh well, you see what I'm going for. The new acquisitions I want to show you this week are actually not new arrivals. They didn't get here in the mail. I actually picked them up at my local friendly gaming store. These are some of the new official D&D miniatures from WizKids. They're under the brand of Nalzur's Marvelous Miniatures, but if you look at who makes them, it's WizKids. And one of the reasons I picked them up is, well, I was curious, of course, but most of all because they were there. My local store basically, so far in its lifetime, has only ever carried Games Workshop minis. For a short while, they carried the Discworld range of minis for whatever reason, I'm not sure. I bought some of those, but they quickly stopped carrying them. But now they've devoted a shelf to these. So clearly they want to branch out a little bit, and I felt that I needed to encourage that. I need to encourage business at my local game store in many ways. So I picked out a few. 2 packs of player characters, the Dwarf Wizard and the Elf Ranger. And the reason I picked out these in particular is because I might use them for a couple of the player characters in my current campaign. One is a Dwarven Wizard. Not one of the characters is a staff, unfortunately, so they're not perfect, but they might do. And another one is not an elf, but a sort of maybe something similar, and not exactly a ranger, but somebody who carries 2 swords at least. So these might work. And then I picked up a couple of monster packs, and I went for
the blink dogs because, well, it's a monster type that you don't see a lot of minis of. I mean, goblins and skeletons and kobolds and orcs and whatever. I've got plenty of those, but I don't have any blink dogs, and they're sort of interesting. One of them is only half a dog, and it's coming out of a teleportation portal because that's what blink dogs do. They teleport. So I thought that was a cool idea. And I also picked up this pack of familiars because the wizard might acquire a familiar at some point, so they could be useful. One of these is also clear, and I'm not sure what these are supposed to be. This one here is a pseudo dragon. That there is some sort of imp. This thing on the back here, it's painted like it's a flaming bird skeleton or bat skeleton, maybe. Not sure. Might have to look up what that's supposed to be. But the blink dogs are like dogs, of course, and these guys are. The paint jobs on the back are not very interesting. They're extremely dark. That could be the photography, of course, and yeah, not very inspiring. So that's a minus. But oh well. We'll have to see how these minis work out. And because I can use these, as I mentioned in my current campaign, maybe for player characters, and maybe I can use these. I can insert some blink dogs. I don't know. I'm the game master. I can always use whatever monsters I want. I'm going to put these in the painting queue right away. They will be right behind the Christmas minis or whatever else that's left. I'll start prepping these, and they might not need a lot of prep. They have this concept that they are pre-primed, so that's why they're gray. I'm gonna have to look into that and see how that works. I might even do a whole video where I review these, where I go through all of the stages of painting them. That might be interesting. Oh well, we'll see. Anywho, that was it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, click like and subscribe and comment. And I'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Dakian, signing off.